As somebody who has been driving for around 6 years and is fairly technologically savvy, I think it's gonna sound crazy when I say that I could not give a fliggity flying fuck about cars. And in fact, asking me to give even an uck, I'm liable to smack the shit out of you. Like the van that I currently drive costs $80 to fill up the entire tank. You expect me to show love to that gas guzzling bitch? You hungry fat fuck? But because I deal with this, I find it even more insane that there are people who consider themselves car people. Like more than half the friends that I've had past the age of 18 have been car people. And these be the niggas that love going to car meets. And the idea of a car meet sounds ridiculous to me because you're really about to pull up to a place to stay there for 3 hours just to flex your mode of transportation. And I understand if you got crazy customization in that bitch, like the car's booty hole got RGB. But I've heard niggas say, oh, let's go to the car meet. Whole time they about to pull up with the stock Hyundai Sonata. That's like pulling up to a fashion show with a white t-shirt on and blue jeans. Every designer at that show is likely to make an attempt at your life for pulling up with that whack ass fit. And those same people might be like, well, EMPOLEON, I didn't come there to flex my car, I just came to look at other people's cars. If I was a cop and I pulled up to a scene of a crime and seen a nigga wearing a ski mask talking about he a bystander, I'm gonna arrest his bitch ass. And by that, I mean you should have walked to the car meet before you decided to embarrass yourself in front of 100 people. Speaking of embarrassing, another thing that car people love to do is tell you that the only way to drive a car is by driving manual. Meaning that if I'm not driving on the freeway, I gotta have my hands on the gear stick at all times. Nigga, if I wanted to have my hand on a stick for 30 minutes to an hour, I would just go beat my meat. And the other thing about driving manual is you actually have to go and learn how to do it. And if you don't do it right, you might fuck around and have a car love tap you from the back cause your car stalled. Like why the fuck I gotta drive an automobile the same way that niggas during the Great Depression were driving it just to look cool? Also with the increased risk of death and car damage. I bet driving manual is what caused the Great Depression. But like learning and driving manual is like getting into the military and then insisting upon learning how to fight with a katana. Like unless you the Afro samurai, good luck deflecting bullets, bitch. Yeah, fuck from around here with your archaic utensils. Moving on to more stupid shit. Car people seem to care so much about the fact that somebody is riding really close behind them, which I understand. It's a safety hazard and it's gay. Like, come on, my nigga, get out of my ass. But if it's bothering you so much, bro, get the fuck out of the lane. Bro, every time I've been in the car with a car friend and there's somebody behind them in their ass, they always spend at minimum 30 seconds complaining that there's a nigga in their ass before inevitably deciding to not move out the lane. They even try speeding up knowing damn well he's still gonna be in their ass. Like, damn nigga, I think you just like the fact that this man is digging up in your guts. And sometimes they'll attempt to brake check the nigga behind them even though they're going 80 miles an hour. Further endangering their own lives. It's really a flip of the coin whether or not I'm gonna come out alive driving in their passenger seat. However, I do think there might be a little bit of a pride issue going on here. I mean, you spent over 5K on a hunk of metal with wheels. I'd assume you feel some type of way about it. Like I remember I was being driven in a car by the person I made the stinky video about, and there was a car tailgating behind us and he pointed it out. They, I guess, got annoyed that we were going slow, so they went in the other lane and then went in front of us. And the nigga that fears soap was like, oh, hell nah. And so he tried to do the same thing to them. Then they followed suit and did it again. I looked over at Mr. Stinky and he had a very particular look in his eyes. Like Mr. Clean would come and forcibly bathe him if he didn't do this shit again. I said, please don't. Now, when this nigga who smells like a high school locker room after PE on a hot summer day tried to do it to them again, they slightly turned their car and hit the back left of our car, almost causing us to swerve out on the road and potentially die. All of that over some car tomfoolery. If they do some shit like this, they probably kill a nigga over taking the last slice of pizza. Nigga, it was never that serious. Shit, even last week, there was a nigga who thought I was going slow, who was in a Ferrari, who drove into the lane of incoming traffic just so that he could then be in front of me. I was already going 45 in a school zone. And if there just so happens to be a cop watching this, I was going 45 kilometers an hour. Yeah. And then I could hear his engine go as he proceeded to go 65, probably even 70 down the road. Okay, let's slow down literally and figuratively. What could you possibly need to get to this quickly at 3 p.m. in a school area? He had a Ferrari, so he had to be rich. Oh shit, it was the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, back to the topic of the video. As indicated earlier, it seems as though a lot of car people tend to be a little bit pretentious. Like some of these niggas will call the body of a car the chassis. You think you fancy talking in French, bitch? I'll show you French. Parlez-vous des croissants in your derrière? But the thing that annoys me the most is when they know what the difference between oil and gas. And you might be like, EMPOLEON, you ninny hammer. Gas goes in the fuel tank, oil goes in the engine. Look, if I put a gun to your head and told you to tell me which one is which, you gon' die. But I promise you, a car nigga could tell the difference between diesel, regular, and premium gas just by taking a lick of them. Yeah, no, y'all ain't car people. Y'all car freaks. See, I'm a normal car person. When my check engine light comes on, I don't take it to the shop until I see smoke start coming out the hood of my car. As for you car freaks, I genuinely think that y'all are as weird as the dude who fucked and married his car. Which, by the way, I have got to know if this nigga nutted in the car's exhaust pipe. Also, if you're one of my friends who is a car freak, I hope this doesn't jeopardize our friendship. I just had to speak the truth of the gods. Okay, subscribe and bye.